GITEX 2019. It's a great pleasure to have you. So how do you feel?
I feel excited, Anushree. This is my 16th GITEX, so I know to wear comfortable shoes and I know what to expect, but this year it's been really well attended. I feel there's an increase in attendance, a lot more customers and a lot more interest. I'm not sure if it's because I work for Nutanix now, but it's very exciting to be here. And thanks a lot for having the time to talk to us.
No, like I have always wanted to ask this question to you, Basil. You know, like the three words, okay? Humble, hungry, and honest. You know, like I've heard coming from Aaron a lot of times, but you know, like I wanted to hear it in your style. You know, like what does these three words mean for you?
Yeah, so those three words are what attracted me to Nutanix, to be honest with you. You know, the ethos of the company is built around us as a company being hungry for business, hungry to delight our customers, hungry to make sure that our product is giving the best experience to our customers. So the hunger part is the fact that we don't sit on our laurels. We are a David fighting a Goliath. So we really need to think outside the box. We need to continuously be hungry and not rest on our success, you know, being number one in market share in Gartner and say, okay, we've done it, we've never reached the destination. We should always continue to be hungry for more. You know, we have 97% customer satisfaction. That is not enough. We're hungry. We want 100% customer satisfaction. We have 91% NPS. We want more. So that's really the hungry part. But the humble part is really what attracted me to Nutanix, because a lot of companies, as they grow as a startup and they reach $1 billion and then they reach $10 billion, they start they start getting an ego and they stop losing and they believe that they know better than the customer and they challenge the customer and they send their audit teams to their customers and they do true ups and they really force the customer to sign long-term agreements. And that is not what Nutanix is. Nutanix will remain humble at its core no matter how much success we have in the market. And that is something that I felt in the culture in the office. I felt it in our partners, in the way we interact with customers, even the way we interact amongst ourselves. There is no ego, there is no politics. And speaking about politics, it goes to honest. You know, unfortunately, the sales career and the sales occupation is quite closely linked with people, you know, operating in the gray area. But at Nutanix, we try to remain honest and work with heart. It's all about being direct and knowing exactly our strengths, but that also means if you know your strength, the other side of the coin is that you know your areas of development. So we will never overpromise. We will always underpromise and overdeliver. And that's how we keep our customers happy, and we've reached these extremely high level of customer satisfaction.
Okay. So like maybe I can expect what answer would come, but still I would want to ask, because you said that 97% of customer happiness.
Yeah.
You know, like what is this 3% all about then? You know, like why this gap?
You know, when I saw 97%, I didn't believe it. I thought it was a marketing claim. Because there's no way you can please 97% of your customers. You know, I've been in sales for many years. In my personal life, I remember a story when I was getting married. In my wedding, few of the attendees were complaining about the food. Somebody else was complaining about the music, and my wife didn't feel good about it. Right? She got really hurt, and my mom came to us and she said, "Don't worry, don't listen. There is never a time that you can please everyone. It's impossible to please everyone." But I really was shocked and surprised that Nutanix seemingly is pleasing everyone. 97% is unbelievable levels of customer satisfaction. Our nearest competitor is at most half of that level of satisfaction.
So, you know, like, what are the basic parameters of this happiness? Like,
Yeah.
is it more on the retention?
Yeah. So our retention rates are extremely high. We're so confident with the product that we deliver and the support. Most importantly, today, any company in the industry, if they don't have a good product, they're not going to survive. They're going to be acquired or they're going to go bankrupt. So all our competitors and us have a great product. But what really differentiates us is once that product is installed and you face a problem, then how does the vendor step up to the plate to fix your problem? And do they let you jump through hoops? Do you go through level 1 support, level 2 support, level 3 support, and then they point a finger at somebody else and they don't take full responsibility? Or do they actually talk to you like the professional that you are and go straight to the engineers that have written the software, that have written the code to solve your problem? And that's really what Nutanix has chosen to do to differentiate ourselves in the market. And that's what led to this customer satisfaction and huge retention rates that we do. We're so confident we're moving away from selling software now and appliances. What Nutanix is now embarking on is moving to a subscription model. So just like your phone, you subscribe to Apple Music, you subscribe to Netflix, and if Netflix is no longer delivering the level of service you're happy with, you go in, one click, and you unsubscribe, and you don't pay them anything anymore. Nutanix is so confident with our product and our customer support and our satisfaction levels, we're now moving our licensing to a subscription basis. So customers can subscribe and can unsubscribe at any time, no lock-in. And that subscription is valid for any hardware, any hypervisor, and any cloud. So we give them the flexibility to run the software, just like with Netflix. You can use it on your phone, you can use it on your TV, you can use it on your laptop when you're traveling to Madrid. With Nutanix, you can use our licenses subscription model on any cloud, on any hardware, and on any hypervisor.
So like we can say that it's no more pay as you go also, it's pay as you need.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So it's pay as you need with open choice. So basically, we're no longer locking you in to any specific technology. You choose the technology. We are working with HPE on the hardware. We're working with Dell EMC. We're working with Fujitsu, Lenovo, and Cisco. We're working with VMware, vSphere. We're working with Microsoft Hyper-V, and we sell our own Hyper-V, our own hypervisor, which is called AHV. So you choose, and the license that you pay to us is a subscription model, and that can be moved from one hardware to the other, one hypervisor to the other, one cloud to the other. So that's really the way that Nutanix is delivering choice to our customers, which also leads to satisfaction, right?
Correct. So, like talking about the elephant in the room now, like transformation. As we all know, like all of 2018 and 2019 so far, we have been talking about all kind of transformation. Business transformation, technology transformation, customer experience transformation.
Digital transformation. That's the big buzzword.
Yeah. So like how do you, like from this company now, like how do you define, I would say, how do you define this entire concept of transformation?
Yeah. So today, in order for the business to transform, first of all, let's get one thing straight. For the business to transform, IT no longer is a support function, no longer is an enabler for the business. Today, technology is the driver of transformation. In order for technology to drive transformation, technology needs to be agile, needs to be flexible, needs to be secured. So what's happening is that most of our customers are still running old 3-tier architecture in their infrastructure. That is like trying to use old technology in a new way. It's very difficult. It doesn't allow you to scale at the speed that you need to scale if you transform the business. It doesn't allow you to utilize cloud providers to help you reduce your TCO. So today, in order for the business to transform, for IT to drive that, you need to be agile. You need to be simple. And Nutanix was born on the concept of bringing consumer-grade simplicity into the enterprise. So today, when I buy an iPhone, there's no user manual. It's intuitive. A normal consumer, no matter if you're a millennial, Gen Z, or if you are a grandpa, right? Today, your phone is just simply usable. It's intuitive. So what we've done is we've built our whole infrastructure, our whole software portfolio on that concept of making computing invisible, which means you don't need to be a computer expert. You don't need to attend weeks and weeks of training to operate you can jump right in and use it. It's so simple to use. And that will enable the IT teams to free up time from their ongoing operation and responsibilities and use that time to help drive the business and transform. If you are busy 80% of your time just fixing problems and running and patching and updating and resetting passwords and provisioning users, then you cannot transform the business. But if you have you've gone through the process to simplify your infrastructure, use an agile solution like Nutanix, then you'll be able to help the business drive and transform and become more digitally oriented.
So like, as you're aware of the Titans magazine also, like one constant challenge, or like what we come across is that one of the biggest hurdle which customers face, while embarking on their transformation journey is the vendor lock-ins. Because that's a very like a speed breaker kind of thing for them. So like, how are you as a company able to pull the customer like out of this lock?
So when you're a Goliath, when you are a large IT company that has been in the industry for 50 years plus, it's very difficult for you to walk away from business or to give the customer choice. So the idea is that you have a lot of employees, you have a lot of infrastructure, you have a cost base that needs to be covered. So what most vendors tend to do is go down the lock-in direction, right? So of course nobody says, oh, we're selling you a locked solution. They all claim to have open standards and open APIs. But what we see, when I go to customers and ask them, have you used the same vendor for more than 5 years? And if the answer is yes, was this choice optional, voluntary, or did you have no choice? And when they think about it that way, they realize, oh, I really didn't have a choice. And then that is the definition of lock-in. So again, lock-in not only increases your cost and your budgets because you need to pay more and more to this vendor because you're locked in, you're a captive audience, there's no way to go. So they come in and they do true-ups and they do audits and they do assessments and they keep, every time they launch a new product, oh, the old product is not good anymore, this is the best and the greatest. And then you're like, oh, is it the best and greatest? Yes, it's the best and greatest. You invest in it. 3 years, 2 years down the line, they come back and they say, oh, it's not great. But you told me it was the best and greatest. No, this is the best and greatest. So it's this ongoing cycle of upgrades and updates to extract as much money as they can from the customer. And that's why really in the consumer space is a leader in this space where they've moved to subscription basis. And that's why enterprise, today in the enterprise IT, Nutanix is one of the first vendors to adopt this model and move to subscription because we want to earn our customer respect on a daily basis. If you're not happy with me, there are no long-term agreements, there are no lock-in periods. You can unsubscribe and go and choose somebody else's technology.
One last question.
Sure.
Like 2020, it's a much talked about, much hyped event now. So like from a market point of view, like what kind of appetite are you seeing? Because you're hungry. What kind of appetite is there in the market?
Wow, so we're hungry and the appetite in the market has been great. So in the Middle East last year we grew 60% plus from a revenue perspective. Nutanix started out in the commercial space. We started out in the VDI solution and workload. But what has now happened, we moved into test and dev. Now we're moving into production. We were the first infrastructure to be certified on SAP. We're running mission critical applications on our hardware. So what has happened is that we land and expand. So most customers are, in the early days were worried about the technology. It's new, it's very different than what they've had. So they test. But when they test, they start investing and they immediately start growing their infrastructure on Nutanix technologies. So the appetite is there. We see ourselves moving from the commercial space. We have a good foothold in education. We have a really good foothold in the financial sector space. Now we're moving. We also have a presence in oil and gas. we're now moving more and more into the service provider space and the telco industry. And within all these industries, we're moving from business critical application, test and dev, VDI, big data. Now we're having Cloudera applications running on our hardware. We're having SAP and Oracle running on our hardware. We're having the mission critical. So we're expanding across sectors, but even within the sectors, we're expanding up the chain into the mission critical applications. So there's a lot of appetite out there, and we are happy to have it.
We're going to have some Hunger Games.
Of course, yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Basil. It's always a pleasure having you. We
Always
wish
a
you
pleasure
all the
being
best.
on here. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
your time,
Thank you.
and best of luck.